boys and girls, it is me, Dukect, and I have returned from Magfest, and wow, what an interesting week in professional wrestling and news and what have you, and all that good stuff. By the way, belated Happy New Year to everybody here, from me to everyone out here to watch my stuff. I just recently passed 500 subscribers. I finally it's 501 subscribers. It is awesome. Thank you so much. It took me so long to get there. It was always like 500, 195, 499, 498, 471, all that type of stuff. And now I got up to 501 subscribers. Thank you so much. It has been a goal of mine to get to that number. Thank you so much. And now, hopefully next year, my goal is actually trying to increase it. Hopefully, my big goal is 1,000 subscribers. But I'll be happy with, say, at least 800 subscribers. That's my goal this year. That is one of my big goals, and hopefully you guys share this, and continue this momentum, and keep spreading the word. And hopefully it gets big enough that I actually might do a panel at Magfest to do the Dukect Lounge live podcast on Magfest, so I won't have to skip that year. So it'll be really nice to do so. So really great and what have you. So anyway, we'll be talking about the big news or what have you, wrestling and video games. So anyway, there are so much big things talking about right now. But the major thing, the big dime drop here, ladies and gentlemen, is the WWE Network. And my goodness, what a big announcement, ladies and gentlemen. It is one of the most, I honestly am very surprised at the WWE Network. I was really blown away as much of a streaming service. And I'm really hopeful that this could be a very good thing, a very positive thing. Because, if you want to look at the beginning of this, ladies and gentlemen, they wanted to start a regular, old school type of, cable channel. And personally, I don't know why they want to start at the ground up. You had, I think they have a good repertoire with NBC Universal. And NBC Universal still owns, Comcast, what have you, right? They own Comcast. And Comcast owns, G4. They were one of the big things, G4, what have you. I wonder why they couldn't just buy that channel instead of letting that channel just fade away into nothingness and, just prop up the WWE Network there. So just letting that die out in the wind. Seriously, I don't know. That's just my personal thing. But anyway, this, I think, is a very good thing. I feel the WWE Network, this big thing for the WWE Network is streaming. It's like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, which I think is something that is a very good thing. It's a very positive thing. And I'm going to say this. I got some egg on my face because I didn't think this was going to happen. So ecstasy, I will salute you, sir. You saw this coming. And I'm hopeful that this thing does well. And, again, I'm hopeful I might actually buy this thing, to tell you the truth, next month when it comes out, which it looks very good. And I might actually, because I might do this on the Xbox 360 because I got the WWE app and everything else. I'll hook everything else, do the WWE thing, and hook all of it up and everything, right? So I could just watch, watch all the stuff live on my 360. So I could just order pay-per-views, not order pay-per-view, but just watch the WWE Network through the Xbox 360 and just relax, watch old content, and hack to find some stuff I can use review and what have you. There's a lot of interesting stuff here about the WWE Network. It's going to be on desktop, laptops, via WWE.com, on the Roku boxes, Roku, PS3, and for Xbox 360, smart mode tablets. The WWE app is on, and there's going to be some. It's going to be on the Xbox One and select smart TVs out in the summer. So it's going to be a streaming service. Going to cost $9.99 per month, with a 6-month commitment required and a week-long trial available. Which there will be a week-long trial, which I will be checking out, seeing how this looks, and I will be doing that. And here's the thing. it's going to be a very interesting type of interesting thing is that it's a 6-month commitment. Is you're required to pay $9 and like to the $9.95, $10 a month per your commitment, but you can't like say, okay, I got my 2 or 3 months. You can cancel any time, but after your 6-month commitment, you can stop paying after your 6-month commitment. If you pay your 6-month commitment and quit and don't want to use the service anymore, you still have to pay the rest of your 3 or remaining months available. So basically, if you don't use the WWE Network for 2, like you like it for say WrestleMania, what have you. I don't need it anymore. And cut off. That means they will still be able to say, you know what? No, you still are going to have to pay for the rest of it. The rest of the 5 months, you're going to have to use the service. So basically, it's not going to be a come as you please type thing of like say a Netflix or what have you. I'll again look at Netflix subscribes and stuff like that. What have you see Netflix, for instance, is testing because honestly, by the way, Netflix is is going to be a 79-month plan for basically a DVDs, what have you, but it is for Netflix. It's going to be It's basically $17.99 per month, $19 for just one DVD out at a time for basic DVDs. If you stream things, you can have like say for unlimited streaming for if you want to have just streaming content just for $11.99 per month or what have you, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is probably when you look at it, you can play for at least. I think it's going to be very interesting as it is a cheaper type system. I think Netflix, even though it is probably might cost a little bit more, but I think the variety is there. I think that Netflix will probably beat the WWE for just for variety alone. The WWE Network, as much as I do think is going to be, I'll probably order, and think a lot of people will order. It still has one basic thing. It's a pro wrestling. It's a wrestling thing. So you're gonna have some original content, which you're gonna have Legends House and Count and all these other stuff that's these original shows. But again, it's still professional. Right? They're still gonna have. It's just one. It's a huge niche channel, and with stuff like Netflix, Hulu, what have you, you can have a variety of these things. A huge variety of channel. But a huge variety of content. Be it, I think, professional wrestling. I think professional wrestling. I think there's still DVDs on Netflix as a streaming. But also, you can also get, cartoons. You can get cartoons, movies, all this type of stuff. I don't know what they're going to do with the WWE Network. Are they going to introduce movies? WWE films are going to be putting on that stuff on the WWE Network. I don't know, but I don't know what type of things are they going to be on there. For pro wrestling fans, this is a really good thing. I think this is a very positive thing here on the for the WWE. I think it's a great service, but it is going to have some. I think it's going to have some real problems out of the gate because I think they said they're going to need at least 1 million subscribers to keep this thing going. Now they might get a huge surge, like say 1 million, 4 or 5 million up front. People are going to really enjoy it, might really like it. But what's going to be after effects of people like after WrestleMania, after that 6 months commitment? I mean, it's good to have that great start, but how long is it going to be? Is it going to be a sustainable thing? Because again, this is a very niche. Subject, WWE Professional Wrestling. Again, this is a streaming service, but I can see this. I can't see how it can fail because it's a niche service. A subject like professional wrestling. It doesn't have movies. Doesn't have this. Doesn't have movies, cartoons. They have like pro wrestling documentaries. It's still circling around with documentary, but still around professional wrestling. It's not as widely popular. Pro wrestling is not as widely popular as it once was. I mean, this is back in the 90s or something like that. I don't think it would be popular like in the 90s, but still I think it would be more well-liked in the 90s. I think people will make it more upbeat in the 90s, maybe in the 2000s, when they did have something like this, a WWE 24/7 streaming channel, and that thing on WWE.com. But I'm hopeful it works, but I see this thing maybe lasting maybe 1 or 2 years, because it might have a good bit high like first year or 2 years, but what's going to be like the next 5 or 10 years? It's going to be, and trust me, people are going to get real sick and tired of watching the old stuff. They need to, this is right now, they're going to be concentrating on their new stuff, their better stuff. There's going to be stuff like, you know what, their current stuff. And if their current programming is not going to improve, which honestly, I haven't watched the current product in such a long while, people are like, you know what, I'm tired of watching the old wrestling shows, what have you. After my 6 year, 6 month subscription, I'm done. I'm going to be done. And then might switch off or might not resign. And it's going to be a big drop-off. And they have to convince people that their current product is still there, because they're all going to have replays of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, which I don't know what they're going to do for next year USA or what have you, like say, USA Networks, what have you. I don't know what they're going to say about that. That's going to be very interesting. That's going to be their contract negotiations. If they're like, oh, we can board WWE Network, and then when that thing, the subscription base goes down, how bad are they going to be? How much more power that the USA Networks are going to have on the WWE? It's going to be so bad. It's going to be like WCW at points that people, that Bonnie Hammer or whoever runs USA right now is going to have booking decisions. Is that going to be that bad? I don't know. And maybe I'm being a little more paranoid, but I hope it is good. But there's also some other interesting stuff here, is that the WWE has some very interesting backlash for this stuff as well. As DirecTV made a statement saying that, basically saying, while the WWE made announcements that while pay-per-view events will air on their network, they will still make the event available through traditional pay-per-view areas like DirecTV, Comcast, Xfinity, Comcast, Verizon, Xfinity, what have you. They'll still do that. But DirecTV released a statement today to the Los Angeles Times stating this, and I quote, "Clearly we need to quickly reevaluate the economics and visibility of their business with us. As it now appears that WWE feels that they do not need their pay-per-view distributors." DirecTV also claims WWE has been in a steady decline on pay-per-views, and that the network will only accelerate this trend. The contacts that In-Demand and DirecTV have with wrestling companies, boxing companies, and UFC state that pay-per-views can't be put on the internet for a lower price that is being charged by the cable companies. Wow. So they're going to basically say, they're going to cut this thing in half. Basically say, well, screw you to the these distributors in the pay-per-view market. That's going to be, and if this thing fails, which I hope it doesn't, but since the WWE again is a niche product, and this is a really niche product, mind you. UFC is, I don't know how they're doing the pay-per-view market. I think they're doing big business as well. But this is very interesting. It's a very interesting situation with the WWE. Because, again, they did drop the WWE before in the early 2000s where their pay-per-views and what have you didn't really do up to par. And now I'm hoping WWE saw this coming, because if they didn't see this coming, that the distributors like DirecTV or Xfinity, Comcast, all these guys, Time Warner, if all these guys, and they say, all these people say, you know what, we don't want to distribute your pay-per-views anymore, so you have the WWE Network, that's going to really hurt the pay-per-view prices thing. Because if they don't do this, if this fails, if this really fails, because I'm hopeful it doesn't. I'm hopeful it does not fail, because if it does, they will have to crawl back to these big networks, these big pursuers, and probably get even less deals, i.e. less money, for them to actually make any money on these pay-per-views. It will be even worse for the company. So this is a big risk, and I'm hopeful that it works, but I am with trepidation. With some trepidation, I am worried about this, because at the end of the day, you have a company that has not had its product right now is not that hot. I don't really like the product right now. And after the big thing with WrestleMania 30, a lot of people are going to be like, if your product is not as good as it once was in the old stuff, people are going to and they're not going to stay for the old. They're going to leave. They're going to say, screw the old stuff. I'm tired of watching the old stuff. I want the new stuff. They're not going to like the new stuff. Guess what's going to happen? Well, that's my personal opinion on this. Anyway, we're going to take a small break here because my throat is about to just collapse on me. And we'll be right back. And the next thing we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is TNA being homeless. And not only that, but also some interesting and funny video game news. We'll be right back right after this here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening to me. Dukect live here in the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a very interesting little video game tidbit for you, for everyone else here. Yes, the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a show that has gotten a very slow start, but it's picking up now. It's gone from at least mediocrity to at least somewhat decent. I mean, from bland and mediocre to somewhat decent. And it's gotten better, but this is very interesting little thing, tidbit today that came out today. That there's a supposed fan, a very, very, very interesting Mass Effect fan, as reported from GameSpot. I'll put the link in the description. That there is supposedly, and it looks really close. And it not only looks close, it looks really, really close to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. basically borrowed the art from. It seems that they borrowed something from Mass Effect 3. They actually borrowed, I think it's an exterior space shot from, I think is the Earth Alliance lithograph. I think that's a little thing here that they use. I think this is on Earth Alliance main base, and it seems like during the episode The Bridge, which I can't believe I didn't see this here, is that they actually used that. They actually used that type of. If you look at, and I see the picture, and you see the picture on the video, that it is so close, very, very close. I think this actually, I think it might be it. Maybe it's actually speculation that maybe this the old Mass Effect universe is actually part of the Marvel universe. Then again, it'd be really awkward for 2009. Then I don't know what they're going to. If that's the case, then I don't know. Can they get someone Couldn't they get some? If that was the case, if that'd be real funny though. If Agents of Shield, not Shield, but Marvel was Mass Effect was a part of the canon of Marvel Universe. So that was the case. Then I don't know what they. I don't know. Maybe it was 2000. I think it's still around to 2099. I think the whole Mass Effect saga took place in. You know, we'll be wondering what would happen if the Mass Effect. I mean, if I was a kid, I'd be really cool. I mean, hey, you have Spider-Man 2099. Maybe he could have helped out, or maybe he was killed off by the Reapers. I don't know, but that would have been very interesting. Hey, that would be one interesting crossover. Make it happen. I mean, making a what if unit story. If the Mass Effect universe was a part of the Marvel universe, and maybe they can make an ending. You know, that's not really that stupid because I just Mass Effect 3 ending. Yeah, brilliant ending. I know. Thank you, EA, for rushing it, but I don't know. I think Mass Effect should have. I mean, all the good stuff is the ending is just so bland and mediocre. I know I already talked about this, but anyway, it's a little interesting thing about the whole Marvel agency using Mass Effect 3 art. It's really nice. So check it out if you have some time. Anyway, let's talk about something not video game related and what have you. Well, it's back to pro wrestling, and this is actually one really big news that I just found out, actually from my friend Tony Helms. Shout out to him. He was actually, while I was at Magfest, relaxing, partying. He told me this. That I was really, really just, wow. This was surprising that TNA, Total Non-Stop Action, Impact Wrestling, whatever they call themselves, that has been reported, and it's like PW Insider has confirmed this, that they will not be taping an Impact Wrestling, they will not be taping the show at Universal Studios Orlando. You know, the stuff that, you know, when they said, you know, they had to tape all those shows in advance so they could actually say, you know, because they couldn't go on the road anymore, which I still think is a good idea, and I will continue to fight for that as a good idea. And what have you, I think it's still a good idea. I still think it's a good idea, but yeah, it didn't work. It really didn't work. As they went, it looks like they went bankrupt, but they went into a hole, and so they had to go back and not do it. They had to get kicked out of the arena. They have to, not only that, but They can't return any soundstage because they were unable to secure any dates for 2014. Wow! Seriously, they couldn't find any studio sound stages. They couldn't have the foresight to do so, since they're not going to be on the road for much longer. I mean, okay, they did tape some episodes in Huntsville, Alabama, and two Genesis theme episode before heading up to Europe at the end of the month for their annual tour, which everyone in the UK loves TNA. Seriously, I don't know why they do. Well, and they will actually be taping episodes there, but when they come back, they have no home. They have nothing. Nothing. They got nothing. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I am shocked and just pissed off that TNA did not have the foresight to say we should have at least a backup plan. Where the hell is TNA's backup plan? It's downright, it's just, it's Bush League. That's what it is. It's Bush League crap like this that just makes you like, you know, why should I be a fan of this company, man? It frustrates me. It really does, because there's some things I like. I like Madness of Champ. Hell, I liked watching the majority of Impact last night, especially that crazy main event. I liked that. Okay, I liked the main event. And I know someone say I'm a stupid person for liking that stuff, but then again, hell, look at Machinima's video about professional, video about WWE Network. He was telling everyone here he hates wrestling and says everyone who likes wrestling is a faggot or pedophile or whatever. But, you know, who cares? But it's just, I really want this company to do well. I want this company to do well. I love this company. I really want TNA to do well. I want there to be actually a number 2 company. I want this to be good. In fact, I think there's a lot of people who agree with me. In fact, because the Impact Wrestling viewership is actually up. It's up. People want to watch this. It's up from way up from its last week's from 1,128,000,000 people last week. This week's Impact got 1.3 million viewers. It's up. People want to watch this show. They care about this show. They average 1.3 to 1.4 million, 1.4 to 1.3 million people a week. They're people who really do enjoy this show. I really care about this show, and I'm hopeful, and I really want them to do well. I don't want anybody to fall, what have you. Regardless, say, oh, TNA's done worse things than pro wrestling company. And I want to say that to those people who think TNA is the worst thing ever in the pro wrestling, the blight of pro wrestling business. I have two words for you. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit did so much. Chris Benoit in one act did the worst thing in pro wrestling. In fact, his act probably, no, scratch it. I guarantee you has caused more fans to leave the professional wrestling business, and probably wrestlers too, who just said, after I don't want to be a part of it anymore. But his own single act back in 2007 has probably caused more fans to leave the business than anything TNA has ever done. For all you people who think TNA is the worst blight in the universe, who's the worst thing that ever happened to professional wrestling, please get some goddamn perspective. I'm sorry, people. It frustrates me when people say that type of stupid stuff. And I'm hopeful it just continues to get better in TNA. I hope so. And I'm sorry I went on this crazy rant. But again, that's what people watch. So anyway, let's see. There's not much else to talk about other than I'm hopeful TNA will find a new place a new arena so they can lay their heads or what have you, and everything will be fine. And continue taping like 200 shows a month or what have you, and have big crowds and over there and everything else. So I don't know. It's just that this show. I just hope that this show continues. I want the wrestling business to continue to be better and be bigger. And, and hell, I heard that Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith are going to make another pro wrestling promotion and pro wrestling promotion. And I say, good. More the merrier. I want more wrestling, what have you. I want more of these stuff. I want this thing to continue, damn it. I don't want this to go away. I don't. I may bitch about the WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. I'll probably bitch about the new one that Jeff Jarrett makes, but I still love this thing. I love it, and I am hopeful in 2015, ladies and gentlemen. In 2015, I have bigger and better things for all these companies, and hopefully it'll be a bigger. I hope for in 2014 this will be a bigger and better year for all people here. I want TNA to have a great year. I want WWE to have a great year. I want Ring of Honor, all these things to make strides, to make wrestling, pro wrestling, not only likable, not only people might stop thinking that we're all evil people or just arrested development, what have you, only people with child minds will watch professional wrestling, and stuff like that, but actually grow the medium, make it bigger, make it better, and make people, and engross more people. Bring in more fans, bring in new fans, bring in old fans, and try to have be in a better place, which hopefully I would do in my channel as well. Grab new fans, get old fans who stop watching and come back in, and have some fun while doing it. And that's why I'm hopeful for not only myself, not only for the WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, and all the other wrestling companies out there, New Japan, All Japan, AAA Mexico, all this type of stuff. I want that, and I want that for you too as well, to have a bigger and better 2014 and kick so much ass that you just say, yeah, I'm awesome. But that's just my personal thing. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me and Duke CT. This has been the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much. If you want to ask any questions or what have you, remember, this is I should have done this at the beginning of the show. My email for Dukect Lounge or for the last video standing, requests, questions, all that good stuff, YouTube channel, whatever, is at DukectProductions.com. Link in the description. If you want to email, talk to me, say what's up, ask questions, request, what have you, about the show and everything else, and everything. And remember, share, spread the word, make this podcast so big that I will, make this thing so big that I will be doing a panel at Magfest next year. That is my goal, to get this podcast a spot at Magfest 13th. That is my goal. And I hope you guys can help me out. Thank you for listening. This is Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.